Welcome to Modern Mondays here at Guardian Games in Portland, Oregon. I'm Travis Cooper, hanging out from Portland Paper, and I'm here with...
I'm Steven Sun. You might have recognized me from a different stream we had a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, Steve's back.
I actually played in it. I did terrible with Dredge, so if you remember that play, that was me.
Oh, so for round number one here, it looks like we have Andrew Sullivan on Merfolk versus Xenon Martin, perhaps our favorite name that we've had on stream, hanging out with Red Eldrazi.
Yeah. What do you think of this match?
I'm unsure what the Red Eldrazi is bringing to the table. Probably I'm thinking like an Eldrazi Obligator. Usually I'm used to seeing when Eldrazi was playing different colors, like red-green was a pair.
Yeah.
You maybe even have Bloodbraid Elf in there.
I think I even see a little bit of black, maybe? No, white.
I will as well.
Yeah, so I'm unsure. Merfolk can get to be pretty big pretty quickly, but I'm guessing Xenon's going to be playing some number of Lightning Bolts, which can stem the early tide of aggression from Merfolk, and then Eldrazi's get to be pretty big.
Okay.
Ooh, get Gemstone Cavern on turn 0.
Yeah. And I understand the reading of it. Not a very common card. Saw a little bit of play a couple years ago.
Just an island passing for Andrew, so not really telling his opponent much about what's going on.
Yeah, if I'm Xenon, I'm not really sure what I'm playing against at this point.
Okay, we get a Eldrazi Mimic hanging out there. Nice turn 1 play.
Yeah.
It used to be during Eldrazi Winter you could play several of those on turn 1.
It was a cold winter.
Okay, Mutavault for Andrew, so the jig is kind of up. But we're getting a Spreading Seas on the Gemstone Cavern, so now Xenon is playing a 3-color.
Jeskai, your favorite.
Deck. Oh, some cool mountains there, and we have a Matter Reshaper.
Yeah. So it turns the 2/1 into a 3/2 at this point.
So Xenon's just curving out pretty well here for turn 2, have your 3-drop that buffs your turn 1 play.
Andrew doesn't play a lot of removal spells, so like the Matter Shaper probably not going to get off the board unless like blocked. But I don't think Andrew is really in the business of blocking as a Merfolk player. And with Spreading Seas, most of his creatures are going to have Island Walk.
Yeah, it's a little late on that Aether Vial there.
I love me a turn 3 Aether Vial. Xenon's like, okay, I know what you drew for turn.
Also, Andrew not playing anything on 2, which leads me to believe that they have some kind of disruptive spell or maybe a flash creature.
Yeah.
And an Eternal Scourge hanging out for Xenon.
No, that dies to when it's targeted by ability or spell. Or it goes into exile, sorry.
What card are you talking about?
The 3-drop that came in.
Okay, we get a Trickster cast for Andrew and tapping down the Mimic. So just coming in for 3 with that Matter Reshaper here. Eternal Scourge usually in Eldrazi decks where you're playing some kind of Serum Powder or maybe even your own relics in the main deck, so you can just keep recurring Eternal Scourge.
Yeah, I imagine that there's probably main deck relics if you're playing Scourge. That way, if it ever does get countered, you can get it back from the graveyard into the exile, which you can continually keep casting.
Sort of an expensive infinite chump blocker.
Yes. But if a Lord comes down, you can't even block it, so...
And speaking of that, we get a Lord of Atlantis, a Future Sight version. And coming in for 6.
A little slow on Andrew's part, but coming in for 6, like, in one turn is a huge chunk of life at this point.
And also, if you're going to take that Aether Vial up to 2 for the next turn and potentially have 4 lands, you might be able to do some pretty busted things.
Yeah.
Even a card like Master of the Waves right now, when Xenon's mostly playing red as removal, is going to end up being pretty strong.
That seems nice. That seems real nice. That way you can just like block for days. Xenon thinking about it. Lots of lands in play.
curious what the Eldrazi deck top end it curves out at.
Cast a Eldrazi Obligator.
Ooh, okay.
And on the cast trigger, I'm going to
Get an Obligator. It's going to have an active treason type effect coming along with the body.
Nice.
And
Leaving
as-
Andrew with no blockers.
Fill in your turn.
yeah.
You sure will.
So it's going to untap it. This entering trigger that. So we're going to control this and go to attackers.
Okay.
That's a healthy swing there. Let's see, we've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
13, 14.
Looks to be about lethal to me.
Yeah, and I didn't have a turn 1 play, so I don't imagine that he has a 1 drop. Giving the fist bump.
I like a friendly fist bump.
Yeah, if that's not good sportsmanship, I don't know what is.
All right, so sideboards here. For Xenon, although I'm not entirely sure, I'd imagine there's some amount of additional removal. Maybe an Abrade would be hanging out in there. That would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
For Andrew, what do you think comes out of the sideboard?
Well, I'm thinking like ceremonious rejection, possibly some bounce spells. Like I imagine like the Eldrazi player bringing in chalices.
Oh, okay.
That's what I imagine. If you know your like busted draws are like 2 drops into 3 drops into 4 drops, you're not really playing 1 drops or 2 drops. And Andrew's deck is mostly 2 drops. So if you can resolve a chalice on 2.
I do see 4 Simian Spirit Guides coming out for Xenon.
Okay, so that probably means he's probably not bringing in the chalices or taking out the chalices even.
I'd be interested in like if you have any dismembers in the board that could be just useful. Even
Yeah.
though you're losing 4 life a lot of times, it's going to be, you know, a one that maybe need to clear out a blocker or a value creature.
There are also counterspells like Unified Will that Merfolk players play sometimes, but Andrew's deck is like a creature deck, a little slower though. So it is possible that if it's in the sideboard that you would be bringing it in, just because Xenon's creatures are so much more expensive that he's probably playing maybe one spell, maybe 1 creature a turn.
Interesting pairing. I haven't seen the sort of red Eldrazi decks in quite a while. Eldrazi Obligator.
Yeah.
I think it popped up this summer. There's a red-green Eldrazi deck that was being played for a month or so, but sort of that popularity of that waned. And yeah, Merfolk has been a while since I've seen that on any sort of coverage. Although there are some people like Nikachu that always get some good results in 5.0s online with that.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be a Merfolk player, so I have a little bit of loyalty to it. I haven't played it in a very long time, but it's never been like written off.
Tron deck.
I think Merfolk players have some level of loyalty for some reason to the deck.
Yeah, it feels like it is maybe one really good creature away from becoming a tier deck again. Just humans and spirits have had more relevant creatures printed recently.
Yeah.
I know Merfolk was just you know, Tribe and Ixalan, but it didn't printed a few cards that see occasional play, but nothing that really busted the deck open.
Yeah, and a lot of the cards that would have were not blue; they were green, which I think staying mono blue is probably better. And if you're gonna play in a different color, it'd probably be white to splash for Path to Exiles and Rest in Pieces. Just the good sideboard cards.
And you get the free land that you can if you're playing white.
Yes, the one where you reveal the Merfolk.
Correct.
It escapes me.
You're already revealing Merfolk in
yeah.
your hand anyways.
People would normally play that over the legendary blue lands since they're a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, Obero. But you have to protect yourself a little bit from a choke type effect.
Yeah.
Choke or boil. I've been boiled before.
I mean, speaking of cards I haven't seen in a while.
So you did some traveling this past weekend.
That's true. I just came back from Magic Fest, Los Angeles.
Is it still called a GP inside of the Magic Fest?
You know what? I'm not. I think so. And every time I have to like refer to it, I'm like, I mean Magic. Well, it is a Grand Prix.
I mean, the lands say Grand Prix on them. That you get, so I'm thinking it's still Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Semantics.
So I just got back from Los Angeles this morning. Finishing 10 and 5 with Dredge.
Oh, that's respectable. Do you still get a pro point now?
You do get a pro point, but I believe they're worthless at this point. So, but yeah. But the prize structure has changed a lot where at a tournament that size, if you go X and 4, you cash out.
Okay, so just unconditional cash out at X and 4.
Yeah, and X and 5, I think, still has a possibility to cash out, which is pretty nice for people who are like, not professional grinders, but like travel to it. There's more likelihood that you will make some of your money back.
And X and 4 is a pretty attainable record. I mean, you have to play very well and get lucky, but yeah, I like that they're just doing a sort of uniform cash out there. And the players gonna check out their 7.
I don't.
It's for the better and not like, oh hey, here's a true name nemesis.
I don't think I see a land in Xenon's hand.
Ooh.
Maybe 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Xenon's gonna mulligan because I don't think he had.
It's like hold on.
single
Like
land.
pregame effects? No, just gonna mulligan. What was the most surprising card that was cast against you this weekend?
Rakdos Charm.
Ooh.
Rakdos Charm. I had to read that card. I played against Black Red Burn, and I played around. I kind of played around Ravenous Trap, and Rakdos Charm is kind of similar, but I think the timing is a little different between the two cards. And I thought I was in the clear, and I was like, "What does this card do?"
Was it used as a burn spell, or was it used to exile your graveyard?
It exiled my entire graveyard. Yeah, yeah.
I could see either of those being relevant in the matchup,
Yeah.
especially if you have a lot of recursive creatures that are already out.
Burn is supposed to be a good matchup for Dredge, and I lost twice playing it. All right, Xenon's keeping a 6, deciding on his mulligan. Keeping it on top.
Ooh, we have a draw step action.
Wow. Oh, is that a peek?
We got a peek.
Wow. I guess that's a card that Merfolk players have been playing.
Yeah, I did see. Not super up to date on all of the hot Merfolk lists, but occasionally I check out lists that Nikachu puts up, and had a list that had the miscallers and the peaks, which I thought was real interesting.
Mistcaller seems good in the meta right now.
I agree. It
Yeah.
seems better than
Chris Catcher.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, getting Eldrazi Temple off the top. Is that do we have some deserts hanging out over there?
We do. Ramunap runs.
Wow.
Banned in standard at a time, and it taps for colorless.
Well, it could act as a finish off
That's true.
somebody for 2. Maybe
Burn
take
your opponent
a-
out.
yep.
I wonder if Xenon's playing the colorless desert that deals 1 damage too.
Whoa.
Wow.
2 temples in a row off the top.
Yeah.
One we knew about, one we did not, and we get a 4/4 with the Thoughtseize.
I remember being the victim of this play many times.
Okay. I feel like I have this rant that almost every stream we do, I go on about surgical extraction, and then it became a meme about how people just start sideboarding that in to tilt me. But we see a surgical extraction in Andrew's hand. Why do you think that is in his deck right now, Steve?
You know what? I actually I have no idea why that would be. I'm lost for words right now.
Okay, I was just letting you handle that one this time. I
I'm
feel
trying to
like
think what interaction.
I've said a lot about it, but maybe there's something that we're not seeing in Andrew's deck that's gonna make us eat our words here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna refrain from going on my little tirade here for a little bit. At
Well,
least.
surgical extraction is one of those contentious cards. People have very strong opinions about it.
It's true.
Even when they are good.
Yep. I mean, people play Magic cards in Modern, and surgical extraction takes those cards out of your deck if it happens to be in your graveyard.
True, but it doesn't seem like Xenon uses the graveyard very much.
He has 2 Rune Emperors.
It's true. If he
in
pops
hand
it right now, he can get the other Ravenous.
What the value on that? Whew.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, 2 Thought Knots back to back are pretty back-breaking, I'd say.
Can I play it in response?
You can, yeah. In response to this, you can do it.
So it seems like Andrew actually wants to cast Trickster in response to the Thought Knot trigger.
Yeah, there's a little bit of communication going on about how
Yeah.
that works. I don't think Andrew realized that
If I wait till the
he
can I still cast it?
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause you're
once
responding.
he's revealed his hand and the trigger's resolving, he can't cast it. But Xenon's being a pretty upstanding Magic player here and letting Andrew cast that spell and then putting the trigger on the stack.
Yeah.
I will say go.
All right, so threatening a double block on a Thought Knot Seer, not the worst.
What is the last blue card in Andrew's hand?
That is, I think, a Master of the Waves, but
It's a
alternate art.
promo
yeah.
one. Okay.
I think it
I
was-
thought it was a Drowner of Hope for a second, the blue Eldrazi card, and I was like, wait, who's playing Eldrazi?
Yeah, I think that was in a Dual Decks product.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, these Silvergrail Adepts are working out pretty well against Thought Knot Seers if you're gonna be blocking, drawing a card, and then they already draw you a card.
I
So
think Xenon might have drawn the third Thought Knot.
Xenon likes multiples of cards right now.
I'm maybe not. I thought he did, but
Oh, just get a Ratchet Bomb.
which is good on this board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two's a pretty strong number, but if Andrew's able to draw a land, he might force Ratchet Bomb to be popped to get rid of some tokens here. And do we have a land? Guess we have a couple turns to draw that land.
Kind of a stalemate going on between the two.
Curious if Xenon plays something like Anger of the Gods. It would seem a little bit counterintuitive, but even decks like Phoenix are playing that in the sideboard. And if you have a lot of 4 toughness creatures, you can just choose to selectively play out your hand as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I take these?
You're good.
Andrew perhaps thinking if they want to activate Bile before they play Master of Waves, perhaps? Because I think they picked up a land, correct?
I couldn't see.
Thought I saw an island, but I wasn't entirely certain.
I'm wondering if Andrew like maybe picked up a Lord. Like, does he want to give them? Well, he doesn't have Island Walk actually right now, so.
Yeah, Lord is awkward too because that also is a 2.
Play a
Okay.
Oh, Echoing Truth?
No, it's
Spreading
Spreading
Seas,
Seas,
okay.
yeah.
It's like Echoing Truth seems pretty sweet right now. Oh, another Master of Waves.
See, I don't think this play is going to go very well. I think Xenon has a Dismember in hand, which it's not going to be fun for Andrew.
So I'll 4 blocks out of X.
Yeah, he does have to Dismember.
This is all fine, but I'm going to pay 4 life and dismember.
Oh yeah, that's a really good dismember there.
That is a very good Dismember.
That's a bummer.
And I'm going to go to 14. I'll not block this one, block that.
And that definitely is going to make this. I think Andrew picked up another Master of Waves, so it's going to make that a lot worse.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you've got a target for surgical now.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
surgery.
And that's
We did
exactly
it.
what he's going to do it. And typically you want to surgical at upkeep, but
Draw step,
Dismember or
usually, yeah.
draw step, but Dismember being an instant.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, and it looks like yeah.
yeah.
Looks like Xeon has a dismember.
It was
hand.
2 Dismembers in it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get some good results-oriented thinking here. Now you just dealt your opponent 4 damage for 2 life.
I'm at 10.
I know, but is this
Oh my gosh.
how many things?
Whew.
Do you have 2 more in here?
I think I need to reevaluate
I believe I have 1 more.
how
Good
I think
surgical
of,
extraction
how I
is.
think about cards in Modern. Maybe I've been wrong for years. Oh, we get a nice look at Xenon's deck here, though. We get one by one.
Yeah,
we got
he did-
Serum Powders.
He did bring the Abrade in. Oh, Flame Lash.
Kozilek's return. Okay, that makes sense over Anger.
He did
Yeah.
keep the Chalice in.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew, for showing us everything. Really appreciate that.
Looks like 3 Abrades even.
That is a good sideboard against Merfolk.
I take it that's the shiny one that you just saw?
Yeah, what is it called? Boil?
Boil, yeah, that's
Oh, we got a boil in the deck.
There is an actual boil on the sideboard that was brought in.
Yes, I'm going to take that as a called shot there. I wonder if it's white bordered.
I wonder.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a great boil because you don't know what's happening at all. I feel like those cards, someone cast it and I'm like,
What card is
what?
this?
Rough.
Trying to read all the way along the top.
I wonder if Xenon has a bad blue matchup.
I mean, sometimes you just really like casting boil.
I guess it's true. I have never casted it, so I wouldn't know.
Well, we got another chat's chiming in with another hard to read card to get the Elish Norn that's in Phyrexian. No one can actually read Phyrexian. All right.
This game looks like it might be locked up here.
What are you talking about? It's a tied game.
Too bad Thought Knots aren't artifacts. That way you can like Hercules Recall right now. Draw 3 cards.
I would really like to see some kind of mass bounce effect, like Echoing Truth, maybe in attack set.
I mean, Echoing Truth wouldn't be terrible here.
It's just a 4/7.
That's a 4/7. What's? There's no even numbers on the text box, because I know you get +2/+2 for all your creatures, and -2/-2 for all your other
In
opponent's creatures.
Phyrexian, they don't use numbers.
Is that true?
Here, I'll play this guy.
Are you a flavor
Flavor judge?
expert?
Okay, we get a Master of Ways with an Elemental hanging out.
Just keep Andrew alive.
You know what
Protection.
Eldrazi Obligator is?
Colorless.
That's true.
Let's see if Xenon knows that. I think he has also an Abrade. He did ask a question about what.
I'll block 2 of them.
Wow.
All right, we challenged the SCG crew to Phyrexian read-off.
Judge promo in foreign language.
Yeah.
All right, we got 20 minutes left in round here, so that's going to give us plenty of time to grab another match and throw on the feature table. So we're going to cut out here just for a minute, but we'll return very shortly.
Be right back.